What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Extra Innings podcast. We're back. It's been a little bit of another little small hiatus, I guess you could say. So when the World Series ended, we did I think I did like 2 episodes after that. There just wasn't a whole lot happening enough to really get on a podcast episode and talk about it. There just wasn't really anything happening. It was I think there was a couple guys who took qualifying offers, but nothing that was going to jump off the page. So we got this massive beard going right now. I'm going to see how thick I can get it. I know it looks kind of weird. I haven't even gotten really used to it. It's like a lot of hair happening. But yeah, so not a whole lot was happening, right after the World Series. Like I said, there was a couple weeks where there was a point where guys had a certain amount of time to respond to qualifying offers if they were given one. Again, not a whole lot of people really pulled on that, especially there's some guys that got qualifying offers that you knew immediately weren't going to take them. Teoscar Hernandez was a big one. A couple other guys that I thought were going to get qualifying offers and didn't. Walker Buehler, guys like that. Really just talking about the Dodgers because that's a whole. We're going to talk about that. But again, we're back. We're going to start. I'm going to get into my new schedule that we're going to have moving forward now that kind of quiet period's off. We got guys signing. There's some stuff happening. I think the only other big one that happened before the big ones that we got word of this week were going to be, I think, was Tommy Edman, which was a big signing for the Dodgers. I think he's getting $74 million for 5 years, which is not bad for Tommy Edman. He knows his role, knows who he is, what he is for that team specifically. So that's, good for him. Good guy. But first topic of discussion today. If you follow any sort of sports, you follow ESPN, Bleacher Report, apparently Barstool now talks about baseball, even though some of the people that talk about baseball there don't know what the fuck they're talking about because I've seen their stuff. Anyone who talks about baseball, knows baseball, anything like that, you've heard this whole thing coming from Rob Manfred. There's this buzz coming about this golden at bat. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain it all and give you my thoughts on it. I'm also going to put this on socials because I think it's big enough to talk about. So the golden at bat rule that they're trying to implement or they're talking about, we got winter meetings, which makes it even more worrisome, is that we have winter meetings happening in, I don't know, couple weeks. I think they're like next weekend, maybe, which is everybody comes together. They're actually going to meet in Dallas, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, nonetheless, the golden at bat is basically a point where every team in any game will have one moment. I think that's what it is. One at bat where they can choose any player in their lineup to hit in that spot. Namely, they're obviously going to put their best hitter in there, right? Now, I get the logic. You look at baseball. You look at basketball, you can get the ball to your hottest guy. You can get the ball to the guy you want in that moment. If you need the big shot in basketball, give it to LeBron at any moment. If you need a shot off at the last second, a pick up like a play and go, whatever you call that shit in basketball, where you need to give it and shoot it, you can give it to your best player. You look at football, you need a clutch run, you need a big pass, whatever. You give it to the QB. QB is your best player, whatever. You give it to Mahomes, whoever you want to put in that situation. They have the moment to do what they can do in that moment. Baseball is the one sport where if you're in a tight situation, if you're in a spot, and you can look at this like people were using the Alex Verdugo in the World Series last year when they lost and Alex Verdugo struck out and he was the ninth hole batter, I think, or late in the lineup at least. It's the one game where it doesn't matter. You can't do a pinch hit, but it's obviously not going to be your best guy because he's probably already in the lineup. But you're not going to be able to just choose and be like, all right, well, we want to go with our best guy who's batting 500. Put him in that spot no matter what. They can't do that, right? That's never been a thing. But now they're talking that you can do that. Or they're at least wanting to talk about that kind of rule. And if you're a fan of baseball, you know how fucking stupid that is, right? Because there's a strategy in baseball. And let me explain why I'm so upset about this. And especially in this day and age in baseball, let me explain. Let's say, and this would be a viable situation if this rule is implemented. This would be probably a real situation, right? You have Shohei Ohtani at the plate, right? You got Shohei Ohtani. Let's say you're rookie pitcher, whoever you're pitching, and I'm not saying that Shohei Ohtani's, you can't get him out. He's not anything like that, but he's a tough out. Aaron Judge, tough out. Every team's got a guy that's a tough out. And my dog's in the background over here. Hey, give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Anyway. Every team's got that one guy that he's just a tough out. And honestly, in some lineups, there's more than one. Sometimes it's 1 through 9. Tough out, right? But let's say you're in a tough situation. You're in the bottom of the ninth, whatever you want to call it. And Shohei Ohtani's up at the plate. You got one out, and you get him out. You strike him out, pop up, whatever. This rule, and anyone who knows, who's pitched at a high level knows when you get somebody out, you breathe that relief, and it's like, okay, on to the next guy, but he's not as hot as that guy, that kind of situation, right? But let's just say this thing's implemented, and they're like, you know what? Bring him back. He's getting a whole other at bat. Your chances of getting a guy like that out twice in a row, I mean, it's hard. He just saw everything, and then you can face him again, or like you saw him last inning, and then you get to face him again because it's like, and again, I can understand the logic if you compare it to other sports. But I tweeted today, I said it. I don't watch baseball. A lot of people don't watch baseball because they want it to be like basketball. They want it to be like soccer. They want it to be like the NFL, whatever. We don't watch it for that. You watch it because it's fucking baseball. It's America's pastime. It's the oldest game we play. It's like, I was, the California tiebreaker thing, I was like, okay, whatever. The pitch clock, okay, it's another thing. It's like, well, okay, everything to speed up or like futurize baseball. And here's the thing, and here's my problem, and this has to go with Manfred, really, because ever since he took over, you had Bud Selig before. Now you're fucking with Rob Manfred. I'm not a fan, clearly, because he's just, it's like, and everyone has said it, a lot of people have said it, it's like, why wouldn't you get a commissioner that actually likes the game of baseball for what the game of baseball is? Because everything they're doing to the game of baseball, robot umps, all this shit, is taking away not only the humanity, it's taking away the history, it's taking away everything that people who actually watch baseball, who actually care about baseball, you're taking all of that away. And you're speeding it up, you're taking out all these different aspects that people love. Like, it's like, dude, what are we doing to the game? I'm just not a fan, man. I'm not a fan. And this has been a reoccurring thing now with Rob Manfred, taking out making the players wear certain kind of cleats. They can't wear certain kind of things on the field. This has been a thing going back with Trevor Bauer's issues with Rob Manfred. This isn't anything new. It's like all this stuff. It's all this crap, man. And if this thing gets implemented, which I don't think it will. I don't think it will. But if it does, I'll be severely disappointed. You're going to lose a lot of people. A lot of the fans that have watched baseball before there was a pitch clock, before there was a California tiebreaker, before baseball games you could go and get out in 2 hours or less. And that's my thing, man. I'm just not a fan. I love the game for what it is, what it has been, and what it always will be. And implementing stuff like this is just going to, I think, take away a little bit of the history of it, and just putting this banana ball type bullshit. I'm not a fan of. Everyone's like, Savannah Bananas, all that shit's fun. It's fun. Sure, it's cool. But to put it in to say with baseball, I'd say it's like as close as the Harlem Globetrotters are to the NBA. And to even think that you're going to start implementing shit from, crazy shit like that, it's like, you got people like, what's next? Fan catches a pop fly. Is he going to be an out? Because that's how it is in banana ball. Like all that shit. I'm just like, man, and that's what's next. If you really think about it, all the robot umps, all this crazy shit, who knows? I don't know. But the golden rule has been all over the internet. Everyone's talking about it, and I'm going to fucking lose it if it's implemented. But anyway, moving on. So we talked about, obviously, and I posted on Instagram. If you're a fan, if you follow us on Instagram, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I think my stuff's linked to my personal Facebook, which is kind of weird. But nothing from Juan Soto. Obviously, I think it was last week or the week before we got that, like, it's the Celsius ad where he sits down like he's going to make an announcement, and then he says, I'm partnering with Celsius, and like trolled everybody, which is funny. I applaud him. It was funny. But I do want to talk about him a little bit. I'm going to make a social video talking about my thoughts on him again, because we've talked about him numerous times. Apparently, he's met with quite a few teams. Phillies were not one of them. Somebody said that Toronto was going to offer $740 million. That was bullshit. There's so much crap flying around the internet about Juan Soto right now that it's hard to really know what. So you're just waiting for a Passan or somebody to come out with some true actual information. I wouldn't believe half the shit you read on the internet. My problem with Juan Soto is this, and everyone's like, well, Shohei Ohtani went out and got $700 million. Good for him. He's a generational player. Let me explain this, because I don't want to take up too much time on Juan Soto, because there's really nothing. He's going to start narrowing teams because apparently the negotiations are now up in the 600s, which is just, I don't get it. I don't understand. But hey, I'm not in that position, I guess, to understand it. But, you look at Juan Soto. He's a great hitter. There have been great hitters before Juan Soto, and there will be great hitters after Juan Soto. That's just baseball. There's, you look at Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz. If you were to like move it into now, I'd say some of those hitters, if not more, you look at, Sammy Sosa, all these guys, roided out or not, great fucking hitters. Barry Bonds. You look at the history of the game. Reggie Jackson. You can go all the way fucking back. Go all the way back. Baseball will always have great hitters. It just will. That's the game. Like I said, before and after Juan Soto, there will be great hitters in baseball worthy, or that people deem worthy of this amount of money. Sure, inflation, all this shit, whatever. Okay, sure. Oh, well, the guys back then were making that much because of, the money, and you're going to get into the money aspect of it. Fine, sure, whatever. But the point is that he is now apparently going to make $600 fucking million. And here's my thing. Everyone's like, well, Shohei made 7, so it's on par. No, it's not. Shohei Ohtani, and let me explain, is a generational player. He throws 100 fucking miles an hour, and he drops nukes, and he's fast as shit. He steals bags, he throws 100, and he hits bombs. That's 3 things. Juan Soto hits well. He hits for power, and he can hit for contact, and he has a clutch gene. Sure. Where's the pitching? He doesn't pitch. Okay, sure. Does he play defense well? Fuck no. Absolutely not. He is fucking horrendous. And the whole thing with the Gold Glove this past year, and I get that I'm coming off. People are going to think, oh, you're shitting on Juan Soto. I'm not. I'm a Yankee fan. I would love to see him back on the Yankees. Absolutely. Will it hurt a little bit if he's not? Of course it will. Of course it will. Do I think that the Yankees should have a backup plan in case they don't get him? Absolutely. Am I worried they're not? Yeah, a little bit. But the point I'm trying to make is that he's a great ball player. He's not someone that you need to just put out all stops for. He's not Shohei. He is a great player, phenomenal player, a very gifted, talented hitter all the way through. But he's not Shohei. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I don't know where he's going to go. There's still quite a few teams on the table. A lot of people have a lot of money. The Mets are a big one. The Yankees are another one. You got the Giants over there, the Dodgers. We're going to talk about the Dodgers again after we know I just said something about Tommy Edman. But again, I don't know what's going to happen with him. And quite frankly, I'm kind of annoyed. Everywhere you look, it's like Juan Soto or Juan Soto's or why. At this point, man, just make a fucking decision. Like, you already know where you want to play. You know where you want to play. At this point, any team's going to match a 600 plus offer. So just pick your fucking spot and let's get things rolling. Because in all honesty, a lot of teams have not signed like a lot of these pitchers that are in this free agent pool right now, like Max Fried, Corbin Burns. There's a lot of teams holding off on those guys because some of these other teams are waiting to see what Juan Soto does, if they even have a chance. Like the Yankees aren't going to sign shit so they know if they got Soto because they're waiting to cut that check, right? And if it's deferred, it's deferred. We're going to start playing the deferred game. The Dodgers have unlocked this new aspect because there's no, what do you call it? There's no payroll cap like in other sports. So that's kind of, and I'm worried that's going to start pending a problem with the Dodgers because we're going to talk about that. But again, I want him to just sign somewhere, whether it's with the Yankees or not, just sign somewhere so that a lot of these other teams can start signing these guys and we can start getting a picture of what's going to happen in 2025. That's my beef with Juan Soto. Make a fucking decision. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of Juan Soto. We're going to move on. So the biggest, I guess this week, honestly, well, there's 2 big ones this week. I get and a kind of like a medium one. We got Blake Snell going to the Dodgers. I thought the Yankees were going to take a tap at it, but I guess not because again, they're waiting for Juan Soto. I don't think the Yankees are going to sign a fucking person until they know if they're going to get Juan Soto or not. Be 100% honest. Blake Snell goes to the Dodgers on I think like a 2-year deal. I think it was, or a 3-year. I don't remember. Maybe 5. I don't remember. I'm not even going to act like I know. I just know that he signed. I was a little shocked. I was like, God damn, now they got there's been all kinds of shit talking about their potential starting rotation, and the Dodgers are going to be fucking dominant again next year if they can hold on to everybody. So listen to this. This is on top of my head. This is the top of my head. I don't remember the graphic I saw specifically, but this is the top of my head. This starting rotation. You've got Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Gonsolin, Kershaw if he's healthy. If you get Walker Buehler back, you got Walker Buehler. You got Dustin May if he's healthy. You got that Gavin Stone guy if he's healthy. Like I'm just rattling off guys. Not even talking about the bullpen, training, Gratterall. I mean, let's keep going, right? It's just like, holy shit. I don't think they're going to get Walker Buehler. I think Walker Buehler might be a Yankee or something else. But again, like that pitching rotation is fucking stupid. Then you got the top 3, and that was a big selling point. He goes, I watched all the press conferences with Blake Snell, and it was like, well, you look at the top 3 of their lineup, it's tough to pitch against. So I'm really happy they're hitting on my side. Yeah, who fucking wouldn't? Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, and then Teoscar, and then let's go down the fucking line, right? Like, of course, who wouldn't want to pitch for them? So I understand, but it's like you're building an evil empire over there in LA, man. Like, that's a force to be fucking reckoned with. Like, I'm not even talking about that anymore. It makes me fucking nervous. But yeah, so now Blake Snell is a Dodger. People had a lot of beef with him last year. He wanted a big contract last year, but the thing is, he just like even when he had the thing, it was like me and my fiance wanted to live in LA. Like he's looking for a place to set himself up, play for a while, and probably ride out on the sunset, whatever. So I get it. He wants to play in LA. That's where he wants to be. It's more of it's not even about the team. More or less, it's about like location and money and all that. So, but a lot of people were upset last year, like, oh, he's not worthy of what he thought he was going to get. He won the Cy Young last year, guys. Like we forget, but he did. He won, or the year before last in 2023, he won the Cy Young. Man, like he pitched really fucking well. And then the whole thing happened last year with the signing, and people forget. Like everyone's like, I don't even know if he's that good. Blake Snell ain't shit. Like Blake Snell is shit. He's good. He had a tough beginning of the year. He ended up throwing a no-hitter last year. We forget about that. On top of the immaculate inning that he threw in his rehab starts because he was hurt, like he had a great year. He started off slow, but if you really look at it, when he came in after signing, he signed in the middle of the year. The season started. Like I'm not talking spring training. The season had started, and then he showed up. But here's the thing, guys. Like he had to treat the first 3 or 4 months of that season, bad as they were, as if it was spring training. He didn't go in like seeing major league hitters like a lot of guys do in spring training. He didn't. He went straight into the big leagues where guys are primed who've been playing for 2 months. Like, yeah, and that's the thing I tell people. Like everyone's like, well, he was still practicing throwing. You can throw as many bullpens as you want until you stick a major league hitter in the box and then try to pitch around or pitch against that. It's a different game. It's a completely different thing, right? It's not the same. So I get that. So we got Blake Snell signed to the Dodgers. Edman went to the Dodgers. That's a little bit old news. I think the other one that I saw was like Frankie Montes signed to the Mets, so I don't know about that one. And then Aroldis Chapman, which brought a little bit of drama from Red Sox fans. Aroldis Chapman signed a 1-year deal to the Boston Red Sox. A little bit of history there. There's been beef between Aroldis Chapman and the Red Sox. People were talking mad shit about Aroldis Chapman in the past couple of years in Boston, and now he's a Red Sox. Posted a picture in his little home weight room with his dog and his Red Sox hat. It's kind of dope. I know Aroldis Chapman's been plagued with his problems. He's, the Cuban Missile, threw fast, still throws really hard. He's really bounced around from Chicago to New York to Pittsburgh to now the Red Sox he's been everywhere, man, this guy. The Reds when he first started, he's been everywhere. So it's crazy. But, good good pickup for the Red Sox. You can't knock him. I mean, he's going to be a closer, a setup guy. He's kind of bounced around a lot of different, places in bullpens. So it'll be interesting to see. But again, kind of another big news thing. And then the last one that I have for the day, keeping it short and sweet today, is going to be Kyle Higashioka gets signed from the Padres. Now he's going to Texas. Is he the starter over Heim? I don't know. Do I think that Higgy is a better catcher? Who's texting me? My Lord. That's non-negotiable. It's sports related, but apparently, if you don't know, the OSU quarterback is now going to get an 8th year of eligibility to play college football. But people are laughing about it. That's fucking embarrassing. Hang it up, big guy. Come on now. Anyway, Kyle Higashioka, was with the Yankees for a while. He was the 1-2 with Jose Trevino over there, I think in 22 and 23, or part of 23, maybe. Got traded. They kept Trevino, traded him over to San Diego. I think that was the one with Michael King, maybe. And then obviously he's a free agent now. His contract's over, going to Texas. I think Kyle Higashioka is a great catcher. He's a great defensive catcher, a little bit lacking in the box with the bat, but showed that he can hit for power in moments and big moments. He did really, really well all postseason. I mean, you're going against the Dodgers. I mean, come on, right? But, great. Played really well all year. Well-deserved here, 2 years in Texas. Do I think he's a better catcher than Jonah Heim? 100%. I think Jonah Heim is too spotty. He's too patchy at the plate. Not the greatest. He's here and there. Too many defensive woes behind the plate, too. I mean, he's okay. He's all right. He's definitely a big league catcher, but he's definitely a 2. He's not a 1. And personally, I think that Higgy goes in there and takes that number 1 spot behind the plate, and I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Kyle Higashioka, big signing for Texas. He looked pumped. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, I wanted to talk about top free agents, but I think I'm going to save that now that we've got a couple guys signing. I think we'll talk about that at a later date. I'm not going to, you got fuckload of pitching. Nothing from Jack Flaherty yet. Nothing from Walker Buehler yet. Nothing from Corbin Burns. Nothing from Max Fried. Although I saw that there were some talks between Max Fried and the Yankees, which that would be awesome. I'm a huge fan of Max Fried, nasty left-handed pitcher. I'm super pumped about that. But again, one meeting, they're planning a second. So nothing, teams, especially the Yankees, especially these big spenders, Mets, all, they're not going to do shit till they know about Juan Soto, which is hella annoying. But again, It is what it is. So, like I said at the beginning of the episode, we took a little bit of a break, mostly because there really just wasn't shit happening. Like, I just wasn't going to talk about Juan Soto every time I hopped on the mic. It just wasn't going to happen. I'm already sick of it. I was good, and then I started talking about Juan Soto. It gave me a fucking headache. I'm just not about it anymore, man. Sign somewhere, dude. You know where you want to play. Annoying. But anyway, so I said we took a little bit of break because there wasn't anything to talk about. I mean, if you want to really get in the nitty gritty, but I'm not a guy that's going to start just micro finding topics to talk about. We're not doing that. So right now, and as things heat up, obviously we may get more episodes in, but right now I'm thinking like a Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, something kind of like that to kind of just keep stuff moving. We'll still have videos on socials. I'll try to get those out as much as I can. But yeah, off season, not a whole lot happening. Obviously, we go in the season, we'll probably have episodes 4 or 5 times a week, plus, shorts on Instagram, Twitter, all that shit. But yeah, for the most part, I would look out for episodes 2 times a week, for sure on a Tuesday, and whether we get it on a Thursday or Friday or maybe even a Saturday, just keep your eyes out. I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for listening. Again, we're back again. We're going to be here for the next, couple months as we are in December. So we got winter meetings happening this weekend, and then I'm assuming Juan Soto signs within the next 3 to 4 weeks as we go into January, and then shit's going to pick up because guys are going to want to get signed. Teams are going to start trying to narrow out their, kind of widen out their rosters and see where they're going to be at. So it'll be interesting. I think we should get some good stuff happening in the next couple of weeks. But like I said, guys, thank you a lot for listening. I really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. If you've been a fan, you've been watching, you've been listening, even though I'm not super consistent, especially in the off season. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that shit. You know the drill, all the stuff I talk about. So once again, thank you guys for listening. I can't say it enough. I appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.